What is a data scientist exactly? And what is data science? Technically, yes, I am a data scientist, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure that I fully understand it. It's become kind of a buzzword. It's a lot like analytics. I mean, what is analytics really? I mean, it kind of depends on who you're talking to, and data science is kind of is a similar term. It kind of depends on who you're talking to, and there's reasons for that. Data scientists, as a group, we come to data science from very, very different backgrounds. I'm an economist, full disclosure, dismal scientist. That's my background. Other people who have the title data scientist come at it from more of a computer science, more of a artificial intelligence, mathematics, statistics, even hard sciences like physics and chemistry and biology, as well as engineering. So we come from very different backgrounds. So it's kind of hard to really paint us with a broad brush because we're a very different group. Also, we use different terminologies. A lot of times, like you take a term like variable, what that means to an economist can mean very different things. It can mean very different. It can be very different when you're talking to an engineer, for example. So I think the common element among this very diverse group is that I think we're all trying to solve complex business problems using math, logic, and computing technology. So if you're trying to solve complex business problems with math, logic, and computing technology, welcome to the club. You're a data scientist, as far as I'm concerned. In terms of the types of software that data scientists use, there's really two camps, and most people fall in between these two camps. They're a little bit of both. But one would be the non-coder. So this would be somebody, exactly what it sounds like, somebody who wants to build models using some kind of menu-driven system, or a GUI, some kind of GUI-based system. The other extreme would be the coder. This is a guy who doesn't want to do anything with a GUI, wants everything hands-on, writing in code, some kind of syntax language. And I think most of us are somewhere in between. Me personally, I write code when it makes sense to write code, because sometimes it does. And I use a GUI when it makes sense to write a GUI. And I think there's a trade-off between these two types of tools. GUI-based tools, and I'll show you one in a minute, they're great because they're very easy to use. I mean, you can download the software, install it, and be up and running, learn how to use it pretty quickly. They're very intuitive. It's just a lot of times it's just connecting dots and pictures to do data science. The bad part of a GUI tool is that you lose a lot of flexibility. You lose a lot of flexibility when you start introducing all those predefined pipeways to analyzing your data. The other side is you've got coding, which the downside of coding is it's hard to use. I mean, you have to learn a programming language to use it. But the plus side of programming is it's incredibly flexible. I mean, it gives you the ability to control your data, at an observation and field level. I mean, you can do pretty much anything you want within a coding tool. So, given that data scientists often speak different languages, we use different tools, different processes, approach problems in different ways, work in a hectic world where technology is just changing insanely rapidly. IBM, what we're trying to do as an organization is we're trying to bring this extremely diverse group together, bring everybody together into one platform where they can communicate more effectively and work in unison. So in a nutshell, what we're trying to do is we're trying to make data science a team sport. Because right now, as we look at the market and talk to data scientists, it's really not. I mean, you have Bob over here, writing in R code. You've got Sally over there doing something in SPSS Modeler, and you've got Joe writing in Scala. They all come from different disciplines, and they have a hard time collaborating and moving problems forward. We're trying to solve that problem. And in terms of what the market thinks of us, I think a picture's worth 1,000 words. This is the most recent Gartner chart, and you can see IBM based on our vision and our current platform. We're leading the pack. So a couple of key features about our software. One, it's a data agnostic platform. So it doesn't matter where your data is at. It can be structured, unstructured, SQL Server, Netezza, Hadoop, Cloudera. I mean, we don't care. Wherever your data is at, we can ingest your data, give you insights from that data. And that's important because you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of new databases to use the predictive analytics platform from IBM. We can leverage your existing IT infrastructure. Another important fact, which I alluded to earlier, is that it embraces both coding and non-coding, and it embraces both open source and proprietary technology. So it integrates all of those things. This is very, very important. I can build a model on my laptop, and you can walk by and pat me on the back and say, "Good job, Shad." But that doesn't really move the organization forward. In order to move the organization forward, I have to get it off my laptop and into some kind of production environment. We can actually make change in the organization, and that can mean a lot of different things. I mean, that literally can be taking that model and putting it, deploying it on an oil rig in the middle of West Texas. Or it could be as simple as taking predictive analytics, writing them into a database, and then creating reports to your executives using those predictive analytics so they can make better information-based strategic decisions. Another important thing is about the platform is that it's comprehensive, and it's comprehensive in several different ways. One, we have a very broad user base, and I'll keep alluding to this point because I think it's very important when you're talking about an organizational platform. We have a very broad user base. We have people that use our products that have all kinds of letters after their names. Um, PhDs in statistics, physics, economics, you name it. Then we also have people who have and in that group with all the letters after their names, obviously they have a lot of formal statistical and data science training, in an academic environment. Then on the other hand, we have people who have pretty much no academic training in statistics or data science. And you take that and then we have a lot of people in between. And that very diverse group, if they have a willingness to learn, they can use the software and do data science and solve problems in their organization and move the organization forward. So we are a very broad buffet. The other thing about it, which kind of goes without saying, is that pretty much any statistical or data science technique that you want to do, and I can't say everything because I don't know everything, but everything that I know of personally, you can do within our platform. So it's extremely broad-based in terms of the analytics that it provides.